Alright, so what's up guys? So we're out here on another run, out here doing this craziness for all you guys. Just simply sit back, watch, admire, and enjoy, right as we do this craziness. Oh man, why are we doing this? But you know, we have goals, we have visions in mind, and you know, for you, you are probably working out or aspiring to, and regardless of where you are, you can probably use some tips. And very often we find ourselves having to work out or wanting to work out, right? If you have a preference, isn't that an awesome position to be in, to work out in the early morning hours? And so many people struggle with this. They don't understand, you know, how to go about it, because it requires a specific game plan or a course of action for you to undertake. And for the early morning hours, right, it could be anytime really from like 4 in the morning to about 9, right? 10 maybe pushing it, right? Those really early workouts. Oftentimes where you find nobody on the street or in the gym but you, and that's awesome. So we are gonna dive into tip number 1 to master your early morning workout, and that is to understand what's going on as far as the volume of people, because working out in the morning is very different from working out in the evening, because of the volume of people that you may have around you. Right, in the gym in the morning, you're likely to have a lot less number of people there, right? Because simply a lot of people aren't cut out for it. They, you know, don't have it within their schedule to work out in the morning, right? They have to or want to work out in the later hours of the day. And specifically for you, you have to understand that there's not going to be that many bodies in the gym, right? And that's okay. That's awesome, because you can take advantage of that. You can get in there and pretty much have the gym to yourself. Realize that you have no distractions, right? You can be very focused on you, right? The chances of you bumping into an old friend or a pretty girl that you're checking out in the gym are much slimmer, right? You only have you and the weight that you are picking up, which is greater if you're running. You only have you on the road and probably a lot less cars to deal with. So by realizing that, understand, you know, what you're supposed to do, because if you're out in the evening, it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Having all those people may not necessarily be the worst, because, you know, you can watch them and observe them and learn from them and communicate with them, right? Make new friends. But in the morning, you're likely to run into less people, and the people you may run into are groggy, right? There aren't so many morning people, although there may be some there, but they may be pushing themselves, that they may not be that open to you talking to them, and that's okay, right? That just gives you more time to focus on you and your workouts, right? Why you originally came there in the first place, hopefully, right? So by having that understanding that there's just not so many people there, you're gonna be on your way to working out really good, because you're likely or less likely to encounter wait times in the gym, right? You can fly between machines. That was a big problem of mine when I had to work out in the evening, rush hour times, 5, 6, 7 p.m. The gyms are going to be packed, so you're likely to have to wait for a machine, and the only way to get around that is to cycle through the different machines. That's the way I would do it. If I would see someone on a machine, I would go to another one and go back to it. Okay? Because simply waiting for one machine to be open at a time is quite foolish, because you're going to be stuck waiting and waiting and ruining your workout by lowering your heart rate. So when you're able to hone in on yourself, focus on yourself, you're going to be able to burn more fat, because you will be doing more work as opposed to, you know, other tasks, more interpersonal things like communicating and getting lost in the thoughts of others. So tip number 2, as far as working out and getting the most of it, is probably to have a decent breakfast, especially, you know, if you're going to lift, because, you know, I need my carbs before I work out. I have to eat something small, but you have to realize, and also especially if you're running, it might make you have to use the restroom when you work out. So one tip to get around that is not only to eat the food, but drink a lot of fluids, so you can get those foods out of your body quickly, right? You don't want to be running and within 20 minutes, 30 minutes of your run, have to stop and poop, right? That very easily can happen to you, specifically if you had, you know, something disgusting the night before, or a big greasy meal, right? That's going to slow your digestive system down. So one way to get around that, one tip, is to focus on what you're eating the night before and get a lot of fluids, because it carries over to the next day, right? A lot of people say that every day is a new day, but a lot of the activities that we did the previous day carry over. What we ate, what we drank, how much sleep did we get, right? Those activities are very crucial. And, you know, if we want to get a right workout, we have to do them right, eat the right thing specifically. And tip number 3, we just mentioned, is to get the right sleep, right? Get the right rest. If you're sore, why are you working out in the morning? Make sure that you are able to lay down and get the rest, right? Ice your feet if you're running, or your arms, whatever it is that's sore, the night before, right? So the next day you will be less likely to feel those aches and pains, because far too often when we get up very early in the morning, it could take quite a bit of time, a couple hours or so, you know, for those pains to go away. But if we have to work out, we have no choice but to work through them. But if we understand, you know, that we have to take care of them from the night before, that's only going to help us going forward. And only then will we be able to undertake that. As you have to focus real quick what we're doing so we don't die out here. Man, we really want to cross the street, and we'll see. So yeah, man, really get the rest, right? Try not to work out sore and tired and feeling bad, and you'll be on your way to getting the right workout, right? One in the morning that is good and suitable for you. And tip number 4, as far as getting a good early morning workout, specifically in the morning, if you're feeling tired and groggy, to get a little bit of caffeine or energy in the form of vitamin B. Right? Specifically, it could be so hard in the morning, right? You wake up, you feel like crap, right? And this boils down not only to vitamin B, but the other vitamins as well, right? You don't have to go out and eat this big meal, right, to get all these vitamins. And you could argue that it's going to slow you down because you need some time to process this food, right? You have to digest it. But the vitamins you can take and immediately be ready to go out there and perform, right? And that's what it boils down to when you are working out early in the morning, right? Because those vitamin deficiencies can really show in the morning, right? Because you're not going to be eating so much food, right? You're probably going to immediately wake up and go to work. So do that, right? Get those vitamins and maybe caffeine, and you'll be on your way to getting there, right? Getting into that position to succeed. So let's see. I want to say thank you and goodbye.